Jeff Darlington of ESPN just came on, and we were talking about how the Goff and Wentz situations might make general managers gun shy in year 4 of their playing careers to bestow a long-term contract on a player like Josh Allen or Baker Mayfield or Lamar Jackson. I mean, Lamar Jackson's MVP of the league 2 years ago. Come on, right? Just did win a playoff game for the first time in his career, right?
Yeah, sure did.
And, and because I do remember we had our friend Joe Banner on, and he was lionizing, and rightfully so. We agreed. Certainly when Dak had still not gotten his long-term deal. Look, the Eagles went early. They got the cap numbers, and it'll be a smart deal down the road, and you pay the kid now, and, he got his big, huge contract. And we can sit here and cast it as a total mistake based on the fact that he's now an Indianapolis Colt, and also say, hey, Josh Allen, look what he just did. Why in the world wouldn't they give him just him? Let's just use him as an example. Forget the fact that all 3 of these young quarterbacks played in the playoffs this year, and forget the fact that all 3 of them won a playoff game this year. All 3 of them. Okay? Won their first career playoff games. All 3 of them this year. All 3 of them playing on divisional playoff weekend because they won on the first weekend, not because they got a bye, right? So why wouldn't they just say, go ahead and do it? Let's not forget, Carson Wentz in that year of 2017, before he blew his knee out, he started 13 games. He was the MVP of the NFL.
MVP. Without question.
In year 2,
Without
just like
question.
Lamar Jackson was the MVP of the NFL. He had, in his 13 starts, I just looked it up in the commercial break because I knew I wanted to talk about this, he had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Is that good?
He's dynamite. And the Eagles were the 1 seed in those playoffs because of the way he played. He set him up for the 1 seed. Nick Foles, he kind of came in for the hold and save for the Carson Wentz start. Kept the 1 seed alive, and then, took that 1 seed and ran with it all the way to the podium. He's the MVP of the Super Bowl. And Wentz could have easily said, and we could sit here and say that Wentz is sensitive and blah, blah, blah. He watched the team win the Super Bowl without him. Nick Foles is forever the MVP of that Super Bowl, and Wentz could have been himself if he was healthy. Absolutely. And how do we look at it differently? I can't sit here and say he would still be the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles since the coach of that team got the gate.
Insane still.
But it's just, because my first inclination is absolutely bestow it on, for sure, bestow it on Lamar. And Josh Allen's right behind it. And then Baker, I guess you'd have to see it again. That would be my 2 cents. I mean, right now, Don Bowie, our Major Domo, has put that shot of Josh Allen's push pass against the Colts. I mean, he did it all this year, man. He did it all in different angles and different everything. He was amazing. Why wouldn't you give him the contract? Maybe you're sitting there and look at Wentz. Goff took a team to the Super Bowl. He was the guy who was connected to Sean McVay in a sixth sense. They were going to be winning forever. Now they're no longer together. And Baker's now got that connection with Stefanski, right? If you're the Browns, do you throw a long-term deal on the table for him right now, or do you make him do it again with Stefanski this year, right?
Make him do
even though even if he doesn't play like he did last year, he's still your guy, right, going forward. But you don't give
man his money.
I don't know if you give him that $35 million a year contract, even though that's probably what he would get on the open market. I don't know. Chris, I know you always look at me like that, but when you're next, when it's your turn, and you're there, it's your turn and you're there.
$35 million for Baker Mayfield?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
that's what a number 1 overall pick who's taken the Browns to the playoffs and won a first playoff game, right? Since Vinny Testaverde.
Whoa.
And he, let's just say he has a little bit of a step back year. I don't think they will, though. I mean, that's real food for thought.
That's coming. I mean, you're right. It's coming. Let's see. What did Baker do?
And this is the stuff, I mean, the Jets don't have to be concerned about that with Sam Darnold. I mean, they're not going to pay him long term. And Josh Rosen being the other guy who's now, in the proverbial catbird seat, what if the Niners just decide to say, let's see what we got in Rosen? and he's the guy that gets the next opportunity there in San Francisco. That would just be an amazing turnout for him.
I like Jimmy G. Could Rosen be any worse than Jimmy G the last 2 years?
You take Josh Rosen in New England right now. I know that.
I think so. I think
you've been a Josh Rosen guy ever since.
I mean, I wanted Matt Stafford, but I would take Josh Rosen.
Yeah, but Matt Stafford wasn't walking through that door.
No, he wasn't.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.